Good morning, guys. I miss all of you so much, and I hope that you are all doing well. Sorry about this sound, by the way, you will hear, and it's not a mixer, by the way, it's my laptop's fan to make it cooler and bother me. So sorry if this bother you too. Let's start. Today we have reading passage, reading lesson, and today's lesson is Treasure Island. It's Treasure Island. And at the beginning, we need to know the genre of this reading passage. So when all of you know that the genre, it's the type of the reading passage. So today's type or today's genre of this passage, it's a play. And if you read this play, I need you to see this on the dictionary, so you will find that a play, it's a noun and it's countable, so it's singular and plural. Now we have play and the plural is plays, and here a play, it's a story that's written to be performed by actors, especially in a theater. And we have a lot of examples here, like a play by Chekhov, and it's a writer like William Shakespeare. Let's go back. So the genre of this passage is a play, which is a story that actors can perform on a stage. So when the actors pretend to be characters in this story. I'm mentioning the characters, we will go to this, but after we have finished elements of drama. Elements of drama, we have three elements: scene, stage directions, and dialogue. And also we can add the settings. First, we need to know what this means, the scene. This word, scene. Like in any book, you can find chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3, so it's division. Most plays are divided into sections called scenes. So we can find in this play scene 1, scene 2, and scene 3, like chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 3. So this is the first element. And then we can go to the stage direction. Stage direction can tell the characters how to talk, act, or move. So it's instructions. It's not talking or not spoken, by the way. And the words the characters say are called the dialogue. So we have a dialogue between two characters or more. So number one, the genre of this reading passage, it's a play, and you need to say what does mean the word play. So it's a story that actors can perform on the stage. And then we will move to the elements of drama. Elements of drama, to this we have three themes: scenes, stage directions, and dialogue. And before we go to the character lists, we need to define this word, which is the settings. And I know that all of you know what does mean the settings. The setting, and now if we find this on the dictionary, we can find that the setting, it's the place where something is or where something happens in the general environment. So let's listen to this.
Setting.
And this.
Setting.
Okay, that's the British accent and American accent. So where we can say the British pronunciation and American pronunciation. So let's go back to our lesson. Prepare your notes, and you are going to write something. Okay, now, and here we can find the characters, or to this list of characters, where we can call it character list. All the characters in the play are listed here in order to the appearance in this play. And we can find this, the narrator is someone who tells the story to the audience, or describing actions and parts of the story not shown on the stage. If we have something not shown on the stage, so the narrator is going to tell us about this. So now I need you to count how many characters are there, and I need you to know each rule of everyone. Listen to this.
Treasure Island, based on the novel by Robert Louis Stevenson, adapted by Mark Falstein, illustrated by Tim Foley.
Characters. Narrator. Mrs. Hawkins, owner of the Admiral Benbow Inn. Jim Hawkins, Mrs. Hawkins' 14-year-old son. Dr. Livesey, a country doctor. Billy Bones, a retired sailor, once a pirate. Squire Trelawney, a rich landowner. Captain Smollett, captain of the ship Hispaniola. Long John Silver, a sea cook, secretly a pirate. Other pirates. Ben Gunn, once a pirate.
Okay, now let's move to page 362 and 63. And before you listen to this passage, I need you to write this down. This purpose. Find out about discovery that leads to adventure. Through reading, you have to answer these questions. Okay, now we have scene 1. Let's listen.
Scene 1. Setting. The play begins in a small coastal town in England around 1740. The Admiral Benbow Inn, a common gathering place among sailors. Billy Bones, looking ill, lies on a couch. Mrs. Hawkins tends to him. Jim and Dr. Livesey enter. Jim talks to Dr. Livesey, but points to Billy.
He's been here 8 months. Billy never gave us any trouble.
Mrs. Hawkins.
Dr. Livesey, thank goodness you've come.
Livesey. Let's have a look at him. Young Jim said that a blind man came looking for Billy. Mrs. Hawkins.
Yes, he gave him this paper. Billy had a fit when he saw it. Then he collapsed.
Livesey looks at the paper and gasps. The black spot. That's a pirate sign. Jim.
Pirates?
Billy. Weak.
Jim? Is that you?
Jim.
Yes, Billy. And Dr. Livesey's here.
Next page.
Billy.
Jim, Flint's crew is coming for me. The packet is in my sea chest. Don't let them get it.
Billy shudders and lies still. Dr. Livesey examines him. Livesey. He's dead. Frightened to death, most likely. His crimes have caught up with him if he sailed with Captain Flint. They were the most bloodthirsty pirates on the seas. Mrs. Hawkins, frightened.
And they're coming here.
Now let's start with the characters. I need you to write down how many characters are there in this passage. So, and give you some information about each character. That's question number 1. Number 2. Why does Billy collapse? So, I need you to find the answers to this. Move to the next page.
Lights fade, showing that time is passing. Narrator. That night, pirates did come to the inn. They found Billy's sea chest, but Jim had hidden the packet. The next day, Dr. Livesey returned with Squire Trelawney. Lights on. Jim, Dr. Livesey, and Squire Trelawney sit at a table. Jim unwraps a packet. Trelawney.
You've done a man's job, Jim. Let's see what Captain Flint's men were looking for.
Jim unfolds a map. They stare at it. Livesey. It's a map of an island. Jim, pointing.
Look, it shows a treasure here.
Trelawney.
This must be Flint's map.
Livesey. You're a brave lad, Jim. Those pirates would have done anything to get this. Trelawney.
Captain Flint's treasure. There's a fortune in gold and jewels, and we have the map.
Livesey. What should we do with it? Trelawney.
Do? Why, I'll hire a ship. Then we're bound for Treasure Island. Jim, you and your mother will be rich.
Jim.
Us? Rich?
Trelawney.
Why, certainly. You're sailing with us, aren't you?
And now, I need to know what's the map about. What's the map about? That's question number 1. Question number 2. Why is that important? Why is this map important? And before we go, we need to read these questions. We focus here. What important discovery do the characters make in scene 1? Describe the relationship between Jim and Livesey. Explain how you know. So these are the information. So now let's have another question. Predict what will happen on the journey to the treasure islands. So what do you think? Try to use your imagination. What do you think? Try to expect what will happen next. Okay? So now I need you to listen to scene 2.
Scene 2. Setting. Aboard the ship Hispaniola, Jim, Dr. Livesey, Squire Trelawney, and Captain Smollett are in the captain's cabin. A large barrel sits on the deck. Smollett.
We'll reach the island tomorrow.
Jim.
And then we'll be rich.
Livesey. We've been lucky. The sea has been calm, and the crew has been lively. Trelawney.
We can thank Long John Silver for finding the crew. It's a good thing I found him. He's only a cook, but those tough sailors respect him.
Jim.
He tells interesting stories, too.
Smollett. Worried.
Yes, he favors you.
Livesey. Jim, would you fetch me an apple? Jim.
Aye, aye, Doctor.
Jim exits the cabin and walks to the barrel. He reaches into the barrel but can't reach the apples. He climbs in, just as Long John Silver and other pirates enter. Silver has a wooden leg. A parrot perches on his shoulder.
And now, I need you to focus on these questions. Number 1. How do the men and Jim feel about Long John Silver at this point in this play? Again, how do the men and Jim feel about Long John Silver at this point in this play? Number 2. How do the stage directions help you read the play? How do the stage directions help you read the play? And number 3, what's the setting of scene 2? What's the setting of scene 2? Number 4, mention something that the narrator said in this page. And now we will stop here for today and see you tomorrow, inshallah. Thank you.